Hello, everyone. Today I want to talk about solar power and the many benefits that it has for landlords and investors. And I'm going to be joined by Tim Hawkins of our office. He's going to give you a perspective as well. But I really want to emphasize that solar is something that's kind of sweeping the country, obviously, and that the time has kind of come where that's happening. We also have a new administration in Washington, and environmental aspects and green energy is definitely part of the emphasis. And I'm not making a political statement either way. I'm just giving the facts and want to let Tim talk about his experience with solar power and how it can really financially benefit you as a property owner and your tenants, and just make your property more attractive in the marketplace. So take it away, Tim.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. So it all sort of started. My wife and I had talked about getting solar panels at some point. Or she's a big environmental supporter, buff, conservationist, whatever you want to call it. Recycling. We had to start recycling when we got married and all that. And her father, my father-in-law, happened to work for Al Gore during all of his sort of when he did that huge national program. I don't even know how long ago it was. Anyway, so there was an extra motivation as well to sort of try to spite my father-in-law to do him one better. It just so happened that this company, Blue Ravon Solar, they're out of Utah. I saw an ad. I used to be on Instagram, and I saw an Instagram ad saying, hey, free quote for your house, for solar panels. I said, okay, well, it's not going to hurt. Turns out they had a salesman out of Colorado. His name was Harrison. He was fantastic. And he comes to Indiana and Illinois and different places where they're expanding to, for weeks or so at a time to meet with people and price things out and so on and so forth. And it was all very professional. He was very kind as well, talking us through everything.
Did he come to your house? Or
he came to our house.
Did he do everything by Zoom?
Yeah, so we did. So this was right at the beginning of the summer last year. So this was sort of, in the uncertain, in the uncertain times, I suppose. So I don't know what he does now. Probably Zoom, I would assume. Yeah. Yep. But he sent me a lot of things via email beforehand as well, so that we could review, and then we could review it together. Pictures and all that kind of stuff. But again, very helpful, because we were ignorant as to all the, of course, the engineering and science of it and whatever else. Just so happens that our house has a south-facing roof with no tree or any other obstructions on top of it.
Right.
South-facing, as most people know, is what gets the most sunlight on a total average year-round basis in a place like Indiana. Mm-hmm. It just so happened that 20 of these solar panels fit. I mean, the size of them is about what you think or what you've seen before. That's okay. About, I couldn't tell you exactly. But
does it cover your entire side of the roof, or is that like half coverage, or what is that?
So they were able to put 20 panels on our roof, and it basically covers almost every square inch of our roof, okay. Except for a little exhaust pipe. And they had to do some, I don't know how old our roof was. Of course, they asked that, but they did an inspection beforehand as well. Of course, it's about a 7-step process from start to finish. It takes about 4 months, and that includes them dealing with the permits, paying for the permits, making sure your structure's right. So they came in and built extra support structure inside of our attic to help support the weight on the roof. Rewired all the electric, of course. We had to have new, it's probably not called a transformer, but a new power box on the side of the house next to the meter. IPL actually, for free, installed a new meter. It's called a net meter. So it counts what goes in from our solar panels into the grid, we'll call it, and then what comes to our house from the grid, from IPL.
So is your house fully solar powered at this point, or are you getting some from IPL, some from solar? How's that working?
Yeah, believe it or not, since late July is when we finally flipped the switch. And
literally,
I don't want to say finally, but literally flipped the switch. Like I said, it was about a 3-month process. And we have not used a single kilowatt hour that wasn't produced by our solar panels. as of date.
When you told me that in the office, I was shocked.
Through the winter.
And I'm still
right?
even.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, now it's winter. Today is March. 5th. So
Yeah.
whenever you see this video, but you've had all the summer, the fall, the winter, the heating season, and all that, and you're net zero.
And it's
getting money back, or are you just paying zero?
You're asking all the right questions.
That's all I'm like. I can't believe it works.
I know
right?
it is pretty.
It works that great.
It is pretty incredible, and it's all very, like I said, high tech, and it's I don't want to touch it. It's so cool. In Indiana, at least, or maybe I should say with IPL at least, they do that in the form of a credit.
Okay.
So they'll just credit over the summer. Look, I keep my AC at 66 or 67 in the summer. That's
Tim's hot-blooded.
Yeah, that's a lot of electricity, right?
That's icy.
In our 90-degree August and so on, 100-degree August. So we were still getting credits in August, September, which is crazy. And basically what that means is they'll just carry over that many kilowatt hours, whatever we are over. And then since that time, we've depleted them. Basically, we're, as of right now, as of this month's bill, we're even. So, but again, we're getting more sunlight now, so we'll probably, the projection is that we'll still be ahead of the game. But we used up whatever credits we had. We did use up during the winter, just from those couple of fall months, summer and fall months. So.
Talk to this. So you basically are paying zero for electricity because of the solar. So from an investor standpoint, you can see what that would do for your properties.
Yeah, I mean and that's not to say it was free, of course.
Right. So let's talk about that and the cost of install and the how that's working for you.
Yeah. So again, IPL, they charge what they call a customer fee.
Okay.
That everyone pays every month, and that's more or less what they say to service the meters and clock you every month or whatever. So, and again, there was no additional cost for them to install that brand new digital meter and all that. And we have a 95-year-old house, so it's not like that was probably very easy. Anyway. Yeah. So our upfront costs we paid with a loan. We thought it made sense for us because we had a lot of equity in our house, and that wasn't going to be above what equity we had. Yep. So our total system cost was just under $29,000, which is a pretty big sticker price. Yep. Especially considering our home right now is only worth about 110, 120, and this is an awesome market. Of course, that's probably the highest it'll ever be.
Until next year.
Well. Hopefully, and that's on a 25-year loan at $299. So and that was
2.9%.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's lower than my car loan. Well, definitely lower than my mortgage.
Yeah, and less than the mortgage loan.
So exactly. So
very favorable financing. And did you get that because your credit? I mean, I can tell you, Tim's credit is unbelievably good. And his wife's credit's fantastic. Is that a program that the solar company provided, or are you just getting a sweetheart deal because you guys are responsible and have fantastic credit?
You can finance it through anything, just like almost anything. But they partner with a company called Lone Pal out of Arizona or California, I want to say, and they just so happen to be a really big solar financer.
Sure.
And they do mortgages and everything else as well, of course, but they just so happened to partner with them and set up a deal. And I don't know if it was a COVID special or what, but the first 18 months is a much lower rate, and then the payment, not the interest rate, but the payment pops up after that 18 months, not by a lot. It's not even double, I don't think. So we only pay just over $100 a month on this loan right now. And also, through that first 18 months, Blue Ravon Solar is paying that for us, paying that monthly payment for us.
And so then did you get a tax credit as well to offset that or not?
So that's the other thing, right? So we're just keep deducting things. It sounds like a sales pitch. And it did, it is. When Harrison came to our house, it's I gave him, I've sold enough things that I know when somebody's selling me, right?
Yeah.
But the tax credit, it's called the Residential Renewable Energy Tax Credit, or the ITC as well, the incentive tax credit. It was set up, I believe, initially by the Obama administration, and it was started at 30%, and then it had a sundown clause to slowly phase out. As of tax year 2020, so when we were filing for it, it's at 26%, which was the first knockdown. And then this administration just extended that 26 through the next, I think through tax year 22 at least, before it starts going down again. It was supposed to go down once every year or 2 years.
So put that in context for us. How much of a tax credit? This is a tax credit, not deduction.
Credit, correct. And the other thing they did when they extended it is they I don't know what you would call it, but they pushed it amongst 2 years. Your credit would go over 2 years because it is so massive.
Yep.
So for instance, 26% of our system cost, the credit was about $7,500 total.
So that knocks your 29,000 down to 22, basically cost wise.
Yep.
And then you're getting a super sweet low interest rate loan. Plus you got free power forever.
And not to mention what it's going to add to our home value.
Right.
So,
yes.
And resale, and our neighborhood happens to be full of a lot of folks my age, 30s, young families, and folks that, hopefully would be interested in that sort of thing when buying a house. We considered all of that as well in there.
Yeah. So would you, recapping any other main points you want to make, because we talked about it a little bit before, and then would you recommend this? My next, final question is, would you recommend this to investors? Do you feel like it's been a good net positive for you?
Yeah, I think whether you are, however you want to sell it, hey, my renters, if you have renters, your electricity's on us because, we have solar panels. Or, again, if you have some equity in your homes, and even if you're flipping, I mean, honestly, it's just going to get more and more popular. And if it's already all done, it's even that much more, because my generation's lazy for sure. And we're not, the process is complicated. It's long. But if you are already doing, especially if you're already doing improvements to your home, and I would 100% recommend it. It's a great program. Like you said, we've not paid except for that customer fee for it at all. And, I couldn't tell you, I have all the figures somewhere of, what my yearly cost would be, and it well covers it. And they price it out for that reason, when they estimate what they can do for your house. And of course we got lucky again because we had as much space as we possibly could. So we run on average in a year, we run 111% of our average consumption.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you're making everybody else's electric bills go down too.
Yeah, in a way, exactly.
Basically, you're producing so much, and you're living for free, and reducing for everybody else.
Yeah.
You're a net positive provider of electricity to the world, to the country.
Yeah. My wife calls them sun catchers. So our sun catchers. The other couple questions I get a lot is, do you why not store the energy? And you can buy batteries. They're expensive. Mm-hmm. That's why we decided not to. And since IPL has that credit sort of program or policy, and then the snow really doesn't affect them that much. I get that question a lot. Yeah. It falls off quicker than it would off your roof normally, because it's kind of a slick surface and it's black, so it's gonna conduct heat
faster.
Yeah.
So. And do you know if the same rules apply as far as selling your electricity to IPL? Is that true in everywhere in Indiana? And do you know if it's true in Florida? Because of course we're licensed down in Florida.
Yeah, I don't know. What I know is happening in places is you can sell back.
Yep.
The credits, I think, are nice because the credits are worth whatever the energy is, regardless of its fluctuations, which they don't go down, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then, like I said, some people store it. They like to do it that way. So technically, our grid won't work. Our electricity won't work if the grid is down,
Yep.
right? Whereas if we had a battery, it's just like a generator. We could still have our house running. It also comes with a cool app where you can see all the stats of what's going on. You can
That's
see your
cool.
solar panels
That's cool.
live,
Yeah,
what they're
that's
doing.
cool.
So
another reason to look at your phone all day.
yeah, exactly. But I would assume in places like really sunny places like Florida and Utah, I know in Colorado, Colorado, this company is like the fourth largest, and they're huge company.
Yeah.
So I know there are buyback programs as well,
Okay.
where they'll just pay you back for them.
No, cool. All right. Well, thank you. That's super cool. I've been wanting to talk about this. I think it's important on a personal level, like you're doing it on the personal level, and for investors as well. So, consider all the ways you can make your properties better and more productive and more valuable and better for the world. So it's very cool. Thank you, Tim.
All right. Thanks.
Have a great day. Call us if you need any assistance on that.